What's up, y'all? Happy Easter long weekend. Sunday, I think it is. And the topic for today is how to be skeptical about shit. I was just talking to my cousin on the phone about kind of nutrition and some supplements and that kind of stuff, and it was an interesting conversation because him and I have similar outlooks in terms of how we tend to look at things a bit skeptical, where we prefer some kind of research done on something or something in that sense, where there's bubbles flying around me, if you can see this. Maybe not. About how we just prefer to have some research backed up on products before we take them. And we were chatting, and I always respect his opinion because, like I said, we have similar outlooks on, just being skeptical of what people say. And the reason for this video is I was just listening to a couple different podcasts, and then, scrolling through social media and whatnot. And it's crazy how confident people have become with what they're saying. And I get it, where a sense of it is the more confident we come off as, the more real it seems and the more likely someone is to believe it. So there's obviously a reason behind that. But if there's one thing we should have learned as human beings by now, is that we have a ton of research to do about everything. We know very little. Things that used to be good for us, we're learning now that is absolutely horrible, and new things that are getting put out there that no one's done research on in that sense as well. Yet everyone on Instagram, even these more famous people who, this is the way it is and you got to start doing this, or, just the way that they talk about things, where if it's an idol of yours or it's someone you follow, it makes me nervous, the amount of confidence someone talks about something when clearly there is no way that they could know or be so certain about something. So just want to, as a lot of hopefully, just to remain skeptic of a lot of things. We learn more now about a lot of doctors in the past who have kind of changed their ways and are more looking at things from a functional medicine perspective, where, kind of coming to the realization where the old way wasn't the right way and it isn't the right way, and kind of have, they've changed their total way of their whole outlook on life from stuff that they've studied for tens of years about, where now they're just admitting, not admitting, but, exposing kind of what they were taught and how that may not be the correct way of how we look at things. And listening to some recent podcasts where, people in the health industry are now apologizing in books that they write and things like this because of admittedly offering misguided information. So it's a great direction that we're heading in, where people are becoming more aware that I guess just more aware in the sense of the old way wasn't the right way. Prescribing pills for everything isn't the right way. That, to really fix a problem, there's other ways to look into these things, and just being a bit more open-minded, which is amazing, that we're coming to this realization. But there's still a lot of people out there who are, there's a lot of things out there as well that's just complete BS. And until you do a little bit of research on it, don't listen to other people. And I mean, the main thing behind this as well is that you are completely different than the person beside you who, so when you're researching these diets and, this is guaranteed to work and this is what you need to do if it's keto or carnivore or intermittent fasting, or broccoli is good for you or kale's good for you, who knows? What you need to do, or what we need to do, is find out what is your individual approach to a diet. Talk to a naturopath, find out what works for you. And anyone who you see on social media, especially with a big following, who is so confident in what they're saying or their approach, maybe they do truly believe that, but never take that as, whether, even if they're an idol, just something that you should believe without doing your own research. And it's great that this is becoming exposed, and all of these major companies are getting burned over these past couple of years for misrepresentation and misguidance to the public, which is fantastic, but is happening more and more even now, especially with all of the media channels that people are following. So